By 2002, Rockstar Games had hit their mark. Midnight Club Street Racing began a beloved racing franchise, Smuggler's Run 2 refined the fundamentals, and Grand Theft Auto 3 changed 3D open worlds forever. While also responsible for State of Emergency and Max Payne's console ports, Rockstar Games and developer Rockstar North decided to release their upcoming GTA 3 expansion pack as a standalone title, one that would take what GTA 3 already did and create an iconic game in a brand new city. That game was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. My name is One Hip, and thanks for clicking on this video. Vice City was my first experience with fully realised 3D GTA titles, and I have a lot of great memories with it. I rebought the most notable version on the PS2 as one of my pandemic purchases, along with GTA 3 and San Andreas. For gameplay footage, I stayed true to the game's original intention with a 4:3 resolution on my PS2 emulator. Here's my retrospective of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Let's go! GTA Vice City was developed by Rockstar North's core 50-person team over 18 months, once again led by producer Leslie Benzies, co-writer Dan Houser, and executive producer Sam Houser. The team had discussed additional content such as new missions, vehicles, and weapons for GTA 3, but they decided to release the concept as its own title. Vice City was announced at E3 2002 in May, with the release set for October 22nd that same year, which was postponed due to increased production. In response to high demand, the game was released on PlayStation 2 on October 29th 2002 in North America, and November 8th in Europe, and later on Windows and Xbox. It was re-released on Mac OS X and mobile devices in the early 2010s. Vice City was also included in Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy The Definitive Edition in 2021, and a prequel, Vice City Stories, was released on October 2006. Like GTA 3, Vice City was built on Criterion Games' Renderware engine, which would be the foundation for iconic titles of that era. Vice City was released to critical acclaim, with praise going to its open world design, soundtrack, and voice acting. Minor criticism went towards its controls, frame drops in demanding sections, and long load times. Vice City was considered an improvement over its predecessor, with more complex missions, a more engaging story and protagonist, and additional vehicles and weapons. While Vice City didn't receive as much controversy as its predecessor, the series was still squarely in the crosshairs of the media, politicians, and advocacy groups. In November 2003, protests organised by Haitian advocacy groups were held in New York City, criticising the game for depicting Haitians as criminals. In response, Rockstar issued an apology and later removed offensive statements from future copies after legal threats from New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Disbarred lawyer and activist Jack Thompson would once again file a lawsuit in response to claims that Vice City influenced 18-year-old Devin Moore from Alabama to murder 2 police officers and a dispatcher. Thompson would later be dismissed from the case due to unprofessional conduct. Unlike GTA 3, Vice City was pushing boundaries through tone and satire, rather than shock. Vice City is a fictionalised major city located in Florida, and is based on Miami, making its first appearance since 1997's Grand Theft Auto, which I've covered in a previous video. The game is set in the year 1986, and is heavily inspired by the era's aesthetic, pop culture, and political climate. The game's setting and story borrow from films like Scarface and Carlito's Way, and TV shows like Miami Vice. You play Tommy Vercetti, voiced by the late Ray Liotta, a former member of the Forelli crime family in Liberty City. Released from prison after a 15-year sentence, Tommy is sent to Florida to oversee a drug deal with the Vance crime family in Vice City. After the deal is ambushed, resulting in the death of Vic Vance and the money and drugs being lost, Tommy escapes and begins searching for the person behind the attack, working with prominent figures from Vice City's criminal underworld to find answers. Tommy finds the man responsible, Ricardo Diaz, and kills him, taking over his business while expanding his own empire. Tommy eventually eliminates all competition, including the Forelli family and its leader Sonny, to become Vice City's kingpin. Missions are more complex here than in GTA 3, often involving several shooting, driving and collection segments to complete them. Once again, there are no mission checkpoints, and failing a mission requires you to go back to the glowing pink mission marker for another try. You can buy and visit various safe houses scattered throughout Vice City to save your progress. Story missions are given by such underworld figures as Forelli lawyer Ken Rosenberg, Vic's vengeful brother and later backstabber Lance Vance, retired Colonel Juan Cortez with his daughter Mercedes, corrupt real estate mogul Avery Carrington, accompanied by a young Donald Love from GTA 3, Ricardo Diaz himself before his death, record producer Kent Paul, glam rock band Love Fist, Cuban and Haitian gangs, and biker gang The Angels. Missions and story beats are also pushed forward by receiving calls on your in-game cell phone. Like GTA 3, optional side missions from payphones can be activated for extra cash and items. Other side missions like vehicle and RC races and courses, as well as rampages, can be found throughout the city. And extra cash can be earned by robbing businesses, finding hidden packages which earn you a safe house perk for every 10 found, and participating in returning vehicle missions such as paramedic and vigilante. Additional vehicle missions include Pizza Boy and Distribution, the latter tying into Vice City's asset missions. After completing the Shakedown mission, you're required to obtain at least 5 businesses throughout Vice City by purchasing them and completing their base missions. This doesn't include the Vercetti estate. These include Counterfeit Money Factory Printworks, the only mandatory business required for story completion, Nightclub The Malibu, Strip Club The Pole Position, Car Showroom Sunshine Autos, Taxi Depot Kaufman Taxis, The Boatyard, Film Lot Interglobal Studios, and quote-unquote Ice Cream Factory Cherry Popper. You can also unlock Phil Cassidy's place to buy higher grade weapons, such as miniguns and M60s. And while not required to complete the story, it's a great way to learn how Phil actually lost his arm. Completing each business's base missions unlocks passive income, as well as perks, such as a massive garage with its own free respraying facility at Sunshine Autos, and access to speedboats at the Boatyard. You can complete subsequent asset missions to increase your income, but these are optional. I enjoyed the mission design overall, and I felt that they were generally easier than GTA 3, in part due to many mission sections having health and armor pickups nearby to aid you, as well as muscle memory over the years helping me through. Notorious missions such as Demolition Man, a time-limited RC helicopter mission, was no problem for me because of this, but it's just my personal experience. Asset missions have divided fans, with detractors being baffled with these being mandatory parts for story progression, as well as criticising them for varying mission difficulty and enjoyment, ultimately feeling like a grind to get through them. Proponents praise them as a strong part of Tommy's story arc, a method for consistent cash flow, a way to unlock perks such as special weapons and vehicles, and as a requirement for 100% completion. While there were times later in the game where I'd simply drive back and forth collecting enough income to buy Printworks and unlock the final missions, I found Tommy's business expansion to be a strong arc in his storyline, being his own way to take back what was stripped from him by the Forelli family upon his incarceration. I bought every business except for the Malibu and film studio for my playthrough, but I particularly enjoyed the Kaufman Cabs missions, especially the third and final base mission, Cab-mageddon. You also receive great perks from doing it, such as a durable zebra cab, as well as the ability to instantly be taxied back to your previous mission marker, for a small fee. Completing the main story earns you $30,000, and the option to complete any outstanding missions should you wish to do so. And of course, you can freely roam any unlocked area of Vice City in between missions. Tommy can use his fists, as well as various melee and shooting weapons to eliminate targets, with existing and new weapons being available. New melee weapons include screwdrivers, hammers, a katana, and even a chainsaw. Shooting weapons include pistols like Colt 45s and Pythons, automatic shotguns, SMGs such as an Ingram MAC-10 and an MP5, and various assault and sniper rifles, considerably expanding your arsenal. You can only hold one of each subtype at a time, and you can press L1 over a weapon marker to exchange it. You also receive a warning message before purchasing a different subtype and ammunition. While shooting has seen improvements in terms of larger auto aim markers and improved target swapping, it's still cumbersome at times, and one of the weakest parts of the game. Aiming through a scope for certain ranged weapons can be finicky on a controller. controller. And like GTA 3, I stuck with mostly close-range weapons like shotguns and SMGs, which handled much better, unless certain ranged weapons were required for missions. Weapon markers can also be found through Vice City, mostly in alleyways and other tucked away areas of the map. Tommy can also perform drive-bys with SMGs like in GTA 3. Driving is as smooth as ever, and the introduction of proper flying mechanics is a fantastic choice, and vehicles are notably more durable than in the previous game, taking a greater beating before catching fire and exploding. Driving on sand can slow your car down, of course, while driving with popped tyres makes handling trickier. Sea vehicles, however, can be a bit awkward to use, but you do get the hang of them after a while. There are many on and off-road vehicles including sports cars, sedans, SUVs, wagons and motorbikes, as well as sea vehicles such as speedboats and yachts. Choppers can be used to quickly traverse the city, and the only flyable plane is the Skimmer seaplane. The franchise's aerial fleet would be expanded in San Andreas. I mentioned in my GTA 3 video that the real challenge came from less durable vehicles and clunky combat rather than the missions themselves, and Vice City lowers the difficulty curve after these thoughtful changes. The in-game economy has also expanded in Vice City. Ammunition and pay and spray make a return, with the addition of hardware stores such as Screw This, Bunch of Tools and Tooled Up, supplying the melee weapons I mentioned earlier. Tommy can also use cash to pay for dancers at the pole position, which also serves as the business's base asset mission. Certain establishments, such as pizza joints and pharmacies, can be entered but not interacted with, except for when robbing them, which laid the groundwork for San Andreas to utilise these as trade locations. There are various outfits at clothing stores, with some being required for certain missions, such as Riot, where you must dress as a construction worker to infiltrate a workers' protest. Committing crimes such as murder and carjacking activates your wanted level, with 1 to 2 star levels enabling the authorities to try and arrest you, resulting in a busted status if successful. Higher wanted levels, all the way up to 6 stars, activate police choppers, spike strips, undercover cops resembling the duo from Miami Vice, the SWAT team, federal agents, and eventually the army. Wanted levels can be removed entirely by changing outfits, or visiting a pay and spray for a small fee. There are also police bribe markers, which decrease your wanted level by 1 star. And when you're busted, you respawn at the nearest police station, stripped of your weapons and a small amount of cash. Tommy can become wasted after his health reaches 0, resulting in being respawned at the nearest hospital. This can be due to being attacked with or without weapons, colliding with vehicles, being in close proximity to explosions, falling from a great height, or drowning. Rockstar Games revealed that there were plans to allow Tommy to swim, but this was scrapped in the final game due to technical limitations. Health and armour markers can be found throughout the city, as well as adrenaline, which slows down time and increases Tommy's melee strength. While there are significant additions and improvements in GTA's gameplay and systems, Vice City itself is the star of this terrific installment. Thanks for still being here with me. If you wish to see more retrospectives like this one, as well as gaming video essays, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. I truly appreciate your support. Anyway, let's talk about Vice City's level design and visuals. Vice City consists of 2 major islands, Vice City Beach, the starting area, and Vice City Mainland. Ocean Bay divides these islands, with Starfish and Prawn Islands located between them. Vice City Beach is comprised of 4 districts: Ocean Beach, a shopping district; Washington Beach, a mix of commercial and residential zones; Vice Point, a middle-class residential neighbourhood housing the North Point Mall; and Leaf Links, which houses a golf course and country club. The mainland consists of downtown, the city's central business district; Little Havana, a neighbourhood controlled by Cuban gangs; Little Haiti, aptly controlled by Haitian gangs; Viceport, the industrial part of the city; the Escobar International Airport; and Fort Baxter Air Base. Starfish Island, inspired by the Venetian Islands, is a wealthy gated community containing lavish mansions and large estates, while Prawn Island, the smallest in Vice City, likely inspired by Belle Isle, houses interglobal films and some residential and industrial buildings. New islands unlock as the story progresses. A feature which I have said in the past is something that I really enjoy about the older GTA titles. This time, a predicted hurricane which changed direction prompted the city to proactively shut its bridges. Various weather and time effects are in the game, with rain and storms interspersed with sunny days and balmy but clear evenings. Certain NPCs may be seen more often depending on the time of day, like ladies of the night being highly active after midnight, and shoppers being mostly active during the day. In addition to what was in GTA 3, NPC behaviour has been improved in Vice City, with many types of verbal and physical reactions to Tommy's actions. They'll also sit on park benches and steps, and even relax on towels at the beach, making the city feel alive with activity. Gangs will engage in shootouts, and paramedics will revive dead ones. After a certain point in the game, gangs will shoot at you if you enter their area. One of the standouts of Vice City's visuals is its lighting effects, with blistering orange sunsets and colourful trails permeating from signs and other light sources such as car brake lights at night time. It really leans into that 80s neon aesthetic, and the team did an excellent job implementing this. Visually, the game looks fine for its time, but I did experience a few minor clipping glitches here and there, but nothing game-breaking. While its level design is excellent and its visuals are appropriate for the game's setting, Vice City's sound design, and most notably its soundtrack, propelled this game to be one of the most beloved in the GTA franchise. Vice City's soundtrack, in my opinion, is the best that the series has ever seen. I enjoyed traversing around the city, blasting everything from pop, old school hip hop, glam rock, Latin music, and new wave, across several radio stations, such as Flash FM, V-Rock, Wild Style, Radio Espansanto, and Emotion 98.3, each hosted by a different DJ, including most notably a younger Laszlo Jones, who gets his start at V-Rock. There are far too many great songs to list in this video, but standouts for me include pop tracks such as Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, which is played when Tommy makes his way to Rosenberg's office for the first time, Out of Touch by Hall & Oates, and Self-Control by Laura Branigan, as well as disco numbers such as Automatic by the Pointer Sisters, rock and metal tracks like I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister, Working for the Weekend by Loverboy, and Raining Blood by Slayer, in addition to rap songs like Rockbox by Run DMC and The Message by Grandmaster Flash. The addition of soft rock classics like Africa by Toto and More Than This by Roxy Music, and new wave bangers like Atomic by Blondie, 99 Luftballons by Nina, and I Ran by A Flock of Seagulls, make up part of an incredibly stacked lineup of iconic songs, all released from the late 70s to the mid 80s. I could have easily said that the entire soundtrack was my favourite. That's how good it is. Fist Fury by fictional band Love Fist is also played on V-Rock. And like GTA 3 before it, Vice City offers custom songs through its MP3 player and tape deck features in the PC, Xbox and iOS ports of the game. A news radio station called Vice City News was planned but scrapped during development. Vice City's talk radio has been expanded to include 2 stations, VCPR, a public radio station, and K-Chat, a celebrity talk show. VCPR's sole program, Pressing Issues, is hosted by the temperamental Maurice Chavez, who often breaks out in angry outbursts during segments. The program consists of listeners calling in discussing anything, from morality to concerns over public safety, in a satirical way made famous by the series. The show's producers regularly appeal to listeners for money during breaks. K-Chat is hosted by the ditzy but cheerful Amy Scheckenhausen, with many seen and unseen characters being interviewed by her. These include football player turned Sunshine Autos owner BJ Smith, Love Fist lead singer Jez Torrent, Australian animal activist Pat Mr. Zoo Flannery, an obvious parody of the late Steve Irwin, and Norse deity Thor. My favourite interview was with classically trained actor Claude Maginot, whose breakout role was as Mr. Chesterfield in the sitcom Just the Five of Us. While promoting his self-produced play that he also stars in, Amy regularly dismisses Claude's artistic passion and constantly asks him to say his trademark sitcom catchphrase, a hilarious parody of talented actors being forever anchored to their mainstream breakout roles. Commercials advertising products such as video game systems, firearms, vehicles, anti-communist propaganda, religious-driven donation drives, and media such as films and TV shows provide satirical commentary on American life during during the decade of excess. The voice acting in Vice City is excellent, and Ray Liotta steals the show as Tommy Vercetti. His mixture of emotions ranging from mild happiness, amusement, anger, and disappointment define the character, and they give his purpose in the story meaning. Other notable appearances include Burt Reynolds as Avery Carrington, Tom Sizemore as Sonny Forelli, and Philip Michael Thomas, one half of Miami Vice, as Lance Vance. Ambient sounds from traffic, NPCs, and weather effects add to Vice City's already incredibly engaging atmosphere. Overall, I had a great time playing Vice City once again, and it served as a strong bridge between what GTA 3 pioneered in open world environments a year earlier, and what San Andreas expanded on a couple of years later. Grand Theft Auto Vice City represented the moment Rockstar took everything they learned from GTA 3 and expanded on it considerably, infusing this with confidence and personality. The game leaned into its tone and atmosphere, proving that an open world could feel more memorable through its identity, and not just its scale. The game's focus on ownership and progression helped lay the groundwork for what would follow. And despite divided opinion, asset missions introduced the idea that power in a GTA world could be earned through influence, rather than simply mission completion. This concept would be refined and expanded significantly in San Andreas, but its roots are firmly planted in Vice City. The game also cemented Rockstar's use of music and radio as more than background noise, and its incredible soundtrack defined how players experienced the city. From cruising through Vice City Beach at sunset, to driving through downtown at night with the radio blasting, the game's audio design became inseparable from its sense of place. And few games before or since have fused music and player experience so well together. In hindsight, Vice City feels like the bridge between experimentation and ambition. It refined the 3D open world formula introduced in GTA 3, while setting the stage for the scale and freedom that would define San Andreas. Vice City was sharper, and offered more than its predecessor. And this focus is why it continues to be a fan favourite over 2 decades after its release. For me, revisiting Vice City reaffirmed why it remained one of the most beloved entries in the series. And not just because it introduced certain systems and mechanics, but because it did so many things right. Thanks for watching. What are your memories of GTA Vice City? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on upcoming content. If you're planning to grab your next PC game or bundle, check out Fanatical. They offer officially licensed Steam keys, often with serious discounts. Use my affiliate link in the description. It won't cost you anything extra, and it directly supports the channel so I can keep making videos like this. Thanks for your support. Thanks also to my current channel members for supporting me further. There are links to this and my Ko-fi donation page in the video description. My name is OneHip, and you have a good one. Bye!